G'day. Can I give you a
Yeah,
hand with anything?
g'day mate. Yeah, I'm looking for a bike. I do a bit of trail riding and
Yep.
a little bit of off-road stuff, and yeah, a bit of commuting back and forward to work. So
Okay, so mainly rail trail sort of.
that's sort of probably
Light
the
off-road?
hardest probably work I would do is in the rail trail. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think?
There's a few different ways you can go. If you're going to be going off-road, you're definitely going to need something with the more off-road type tyres.
Mm-hmm.
Your fitness bikes aren't going to cut it for that. Do you have any lower back issues?
No,
neck, shoulder?
actually the back's pretty good.
Yep.
Bit unfit, of course, but
Yep.
the back's pretty good. No, I don't have any issues there.
Okay. There's two different styles of bikes when we start talking about these mountain bikes. We've got endurance geometry, which is
Mhm.
good for your fitness and general riding sort of stuff. Then you go into more of your race geometry. So it's a little bit further forward, you will sit lower on the bike, your back will be much flatter,
Yep.
a little bit quicker to ride. If it's just general riding, most people will tend to go for the endurance geometry.
Okay.
So, any idea of budget?
I was thinking somewhere between $600 and $1,000. I was
Okay.
looking in that price range. I don't know if I'm in the ballpark or not, but
When you're up around the 600, you're going into your disc brake versions.
yep.
Below that, most of the bikes are still rim brake. But $600, something like this bike here. I'll just drag this out so we can have a look at this.
And what would be the main advantage of disc brakes, say, over rim brakes?
The
In
big
the
advantage
mountain bikes.
for mountain bike, if you are off-road and you do buckle your wheel, with the rim brake, that is constantly going to be hitting the brake and you'll have to disconnect your brakes to get home, which can be unsafe.
Yeah.
With the disc brake, if you buckle your rim, it doesn't matter. The disc being down at the hub won't affect your braking at all, so you just keep riding that buckled wheel until you get back and you
Okay,
can have your
that
wheel
sounds
fixed.
more like me. I'm likely to have a buster.
Low maintenance. The beauty of these ones here, it has this little feature here, which is a lockout fork.
Okay.
So when you're in town or you're on a smoother rail trail, you can actually switch your suspension off, and that'll make the bike more efficient. So it's not going to be bouncing up and down as
Okay.
you pedal. Okay, the disc brakes on this bike are hydraulic. They're not a cable disc, so
Okay.
the reservoir is up in the lever. So it won't matter wet, dry, muddy. The braking power is going to be the same.
Okay.
Very low maintenance. If you do need them bled, it's a very simple job.
Yep.
But yeah, bulletproof brakes and just a really nice feel on the lever as well.
Okay. So I noticed no rear suspension. So
No, unless you're really doing some serious off-road sort of riding, rear suspension is a bit of overkill for most people.
yep.
You will find that the baggier tyres, the bigger diameter tyres that they're running now do take up a lot of that.
Okay.
And if you run correct air pressure when you're off-road, bring it down to around 30-35 psi, that absorbs enough of the shock for most
So
people.
I'm not going to get a lot of jolting in the back.
No, you should be
The old
fairly
bike
fine.
was pretty bad, but I mean, she's 30 years old, you know, a long time ago.
No, these will roll a lot better than most of the older style bikes, and with those wider tyres it does
Okay.
make a huge difference.
So I noticed we've got gearing. So what sort of gearing have we got?
With these ones, it's all Shimano running gear, so what they call rapid fire gears. So it's a shifter pod. Now we've got a little trigger lever here.
Yep.
Every time we hit that, it's indexed, and that will drop the chain one gear at the back, giving you a
Okay.
taller gear, so it's a
Right.
little bit quicker to ride.
Okay.
When you go up a hill or you find some softer terrain where you need an easier gear, you have the thumb pedal just below that one.
Yep.
One click of that, and you'll go up the cassette and find yourself an easier gear.
Oh, that's a lot quicker and easier than what they used to be. Yeah, fantastic. So that's your rear gear set,
Yep.
and then your front.
Same on the front, indexed again.
Yep.
Exactly the same system.
Yep.
So the thumb lever and the trigger shifter.
Oh, and you've got little indicators too.
Indicates to let you know roughly what gear you're in.
Yep. Yep.
So it gives you a bit of an idea without having to look down where you're actually at.
Okay. Oh, you know, the old bike I used to have, the gears used to slip a lot, so I guess modern technology's improved that.
Indexing is what sort of eliminates that problem.
Yep.
So as long as it's indexed correctly
Yep.
and the cable tensions are correct, it'll just stay in gear.
Yep.
So you've just got to make sure that you keep any dirt and grit out of the back there when you give it a wash.
Okay.
Just make sure it doesn't get too much build-up of sand, and you won't have any problems with the shifting of the gears.
Fabulous.
Size-wise,
Size-wise, is that about my size?
what we want when we're riding a bike is basically if you throw yourself over there,
Okay. On the
When-
tippy toes.
when you've got this crank arm at the bottom of the pedal stroke, if you can put your foot on there for me, you want a slight bend in the back of your knee.
Yep.
You don't want that leg dead straight, otherwise you're going to cause yourself muscle problems throughout the knee.
Yep.
So we want a light bend there, but we still want to be able to touch the ground with both feet in the case
Yep.
of emergency.
Yep. Okay, so I'm on my tippy toes, so that would still be okay.
That'll be fine. Now,
Yep.
when you're in the riding position,
Mm-hmm.
ideally for something in the endurance geometry, you want between a 50 and 60 degree angle on your back.
Yep.
The comfort bikes, you're looking at 70 to 80 degrees where you sit more upright.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're going to be doing longer rides, you want to be moving your position forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be leaning over the front of the bike a little bit.
Yep.
And with our leg in the correct position.
Yep.
Jump on there.
Yep. Seat's comfortable. Okay.
You'll look pretty good.
All right. And if I needed to sit up more upright, what do you need to do then to sort of give me that upright?
There's a big variance in stems. We can change angles of the stems.
Okay.
And depending on the steerer length,
Yep.
is how it determines how high we can put those bars.
Okay.
There's
So you
also
can lift them up and down.
a little bit, depending on, we can change the angle of this, and
Okay.
we can also get riser bars, which will bring that up higher again.
Yep.
That will effectively put you in a more of a comfort riding position.
Yep.
So the longer rides, slightly further forward.
Yep.